Welcome back to another episode of Life's a Garden. Quick reminder for everybody, this Friday, February 18th, my band Cutthroat will be playing at Craft Local, and that's at the new location, the old Carlin building. They're on Montana Avenue. Beautiful venue, cannot wait to play this show. So please come out, support local music and local business. Today's guest is a musician himself. You can check him out in either of his two bands, Twin Division and Joyce From The Future. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Josh Reedy. All right, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So, unlike so many of my other guests, I know very little about you. So we're going to start off with, I'm just going to get some background on you. When did you get started into music?
Like when I was in high school, I think the same for you, right? Because I don't really know that much about you other than from Justin, but you and Justin played music, right, in high school?
Yep.
Okay. In Calamity, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, the first band I was in was Psychosis.
Oh, okay.
So we've been in every band I've been in has been with him.
Nice,
So
wow.
it was Psychosis, then Calamity, and now Cutthroat.
Cool. Okay. But yeah, for me, it's kind of the same thing. We're in high school, started playing music and stuff, and just kind of kept at it, you know?
Okay. And then did you go to school here?
No, I went to school in Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Right on. And then how old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, so right around the same age.
Yeah.
When did you move to Billings?
I moved to Billings probably like 7 years ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
In like 2013, or maybe that's a little over that, but.
Okay. Is that like? Tell me about that. Like.
I went to college at Rocky for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just came from Connecticut? Wow.
Yeah, I just honestly I don't know.
East Coast.
Yeah, I just kind of like just moved to like a random place. I don't know if I really thought I would stay here like as long as I have, but it's it's a cool spot.
And you just moved here by yourself then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you've been here seven years, you said?
Since 2013, so that's got to be like
that's
a solid decade.
That's almost 9. Yeah, that's 9 years. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Time flies.
Oh, for sure. And then so you said you started in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Always just drumming, or
yeah,
are you kind
drums is like really the only instrument that I really kind of like can play like decently. But I've been playing guitar for a few years now, so I'm like still kind of learning and stuff. But I wouldn't say I play the guitar like really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how many band situations? How many bands from this time you started to now? Because I know you're in 2 bands currently, right?
Yeah. I'm in the band with Justin, Twin Division, and then my other band too, Joyce From The Future. So before that, I was in Arterial Drive, and then
I know Arterial Drive.
Yeah, and basically just like my first band in high school too, which is called Take Zero.
Oh, okay.
So that was like a long time ago. That was like my first band. I think I've like kind of like done some other like bandish things like in between those, but not really like stuff that like really like got off the ground and was playing shows and stuff, you know.
Right.
So like just those ones really I'd consider.
Okay, right on. So basically, okay, so kind of run me through from when you came to Billings as far as like how you got into Arterial Drive, because I'm assuming that was your first band here, right?
Yeah.
How you met those guys and kind of how like your evolution since you've been to Billings as far as music goes.
Okay, so like because I went at Rocky Mountain College, like I was kind of just like jamming with people and stuff, like kind of just like just using like the band room there and stuff, like just making some music and stuff. And well, Meg, do you know Meg Gildehouse?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was also going to Rocky Mountain College, and then she was like putting her music, like her solo music, like on the radio station at the school, and then I had something to do with that, vaguely, and also her boyfriend Mike, I think, knew that I played the drums or something, but she was playing in a band called DDX.
Okay.
With Drew and Juan and Darren, and that would be it. And so then like then I started playing with them, and that is how I got started playing with them.
Okay, right on.
I just haven't thought about that in a while.
For sure. And
yeah,
so, how long ago was that?
Good question.
Was that like pretty much right away when you got here?
I think that was like, no. It was a while after. I think it was like 2017, maybe 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did that last?
A pretty good time. I mean, I'm still in Arterial Drive. It's the same people. It's the same band.
And that's what Joyce From The Future is now, or?
No, that's like a different band, but that's also the same people. But I don't know. Maybe that's kind of confusing. But I'm still in Arterial Drive, which is what DDX turned into. So like that was the band that Meg was in, and then I started playing with them. So that's how I got started, and then we like changed our name and stuff, and kind of just switched things up a little bit.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Mm-hmm. See, I was out of the music scene for like a decent amount of time. It was basically was in Calamity. Well, and it actually all my bands in between have been with gaps, because after Psychosis, I was in freshman year, and I think it was like right into sophomore year that we got done with that.
Okay.
And then I wasn't in a band until, I don't think we did Calamity till like 2013 or 14. And I'm so bad with dates.
Me too.
I'm the worst.
Same, dude.
And then we only did that for maybe 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And maybe a year, if that. And then after that, it's been from, let's just say 2014, close to 15. That was the last thing I did until Cutthroat, and I've been doing Cutthroat for 3 years almost.
Wow. And
that's easily the longest band I've been in. Huh. But we started in like 2019, yeah. Yeah. Would have been Cutthroat. So there was a solid 5 years there that I didn't do anything with music and had no association with like local music.
That's kind of like what happened with me too, because like when I went to college, I kind of just like wasn't really like playing in any bands. I was like trying to like jam with people and stuff, but yeah, like I kind of just like there was that like period of time where I just wasn't like in a band or anything, or like I don't know, but
still playing, just
still like just playing because I like to play the drums, so I'm just playing by myself or whatever, just trying to like jam and stuff. And I was jamming with like some people that were really cool, but like we didn't really like kind of like start up like a serious band or anything.
For sure. So how did you end up meeting Justin? Since that's like our mutual comrade.
Yeah, that's a super good question. We met like over a year ago. We met like, well, actually, we've probably met like, because we've both been in the music scene like at the same time, like over the years.
Right.
So.
Just in passing at shows.
He was in the photo. What?
Like just in passing at shows.
Yeah. I know I've met Maddie. I know I've had conversation with Maddie that I can remember because she was in the Photoshop Lifters too. I don't really know if I ever really talked with Justin like while like the Photoshop Lifters, like I was like going to their shows and stuff. But like Maddie plays the drums, so I think I like talked with her about drums or something.
Sure, that makes sense.
But we just started jamming during the coronavirus because like
there was nothing to do.
Basically, yeah, there's nothing to do. Like both of us kind of were in the same spot where it was kind of like, we had been like playing a lot, and then suddenly there's no shows going on. There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
And we're just like, well, we're just sitting at home all this time. Why don't we just come over and jam? So he would just come over and jam at my place and stuff. And yeah, we thought, it's like, okay, this sounds good, so.
And I knew he was good. He was friends with Mark, and I'm assuming that's just how he kind of got.
Yeah, that's how I know Mark is through Justin.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I dig you guys' sound, and I haven't seen Joyce From The Future yet, so.
I'll definitely. Actually, I think I know when our show is on the 19th. Everybody, it's on the 19th. Come to our show.
19th of February?
19th of March. And it's going to be at the Pub Station.
All right, 19th of March at the Pub Station, Joyce From The Future.
Yeah.
Any upcoming shows for Twin Division?
That is to be determined.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay. Sometime down the road. And I was gonna say I'll leave a link to both bands in the comment or like in the description.
Yeah,
so if anybody wants to check out either band or both bands,
throw Cutthroat a link too.
Oh yeah, I mean everyone knows that by now. If they watch the show, they know.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll leave a link so anybody can check that out. Right on. Well, college-wise, so what was your major, or what did you end up studying?
I studied like a little bit of everything, kind of, but I was trying to major in computer science for a little bit, but that was like really hard. And
That sounds so hard.
I switched it up. I switched my major. I don't even know if I like formally switched my major. I don't know. But I then was like, okay, maybe I can just major in philosophy instead, because I was already taking philosophy classes. I was like, I already took all these classes. Why don't I just switch it to that? You know, I've already got the credits for it.
Yeah.
But I never ended up graduating ultimately.
Okay. How many years did you end up getting in?
I did like most of everything I had to do. Like honestly, I got really close to graduating, but I just started like playing with the band, and I don't know. I mean, maybe one day I'll go back and stuff and everything. I think there's always like more to learn, and stuff. And
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the kind of the beauty of college.
Yeah, exactly. It could be cool to go back and stuff and everything, but I don't think I'm really gonna be like a computer scientist like professionally or anything like that. But it's
a decent degree to have. Like, I mean,
oh yeah, I mean, like, other people that were in that degree, like they're doing like awesome stuff right now and stuff. So
well, especially with us turning into like such a technological world,
yeah,
more increasingly every day.
Yeah, I think like a lot of like even like high schools and stuff are now teaching like computer code and stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, coding should be huge.
It's like it's kind of like almost like you need to know it like to
survive,
because all the jobs are going to be robots now. Like we're just gonna have robots doing everything.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a job, you can't do any of that. You can't like do any of that stuff anymore. You have to like build robots now.
Right.
So like,
oh dude, it's crazy when I think about. I was actually just thinking about, because I've never really been a kid. Like the idea of having a kid, and like the older I get, sometimes I think about it, and it's
having
like,
a kid?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like. But then I start thinking about, fuck, what's the future for my kid? Or, like, what's it like for my kid growing up? I don't want to stick him in front of, like a TV or something like that all the time. But the technology is so encompassing. Like, they would be so left behind. And it's, like, that hard...
That's a really good point.
It's just a hard, like, battle to make. It's like, do I allow my kid to be on the phone and in the internet and all this, even though I know all the, like, craziness that's out there? But if they're not, they're behind because like technology is so.
That's a super good point. It's like, what
huge.
Do you do? Yeah, I think I've like thought about that or something similar to that before, because that just kind of like really, I was like, huh, like I see what you mean.
Yeah, raising a kid right now would be just like crazy. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'll let AI end up just raising my kid for me. Sometime down the road.
You just have like a robot baby.
yeah. I'll have a
AI baby.
I'll have a baby in the metaverse.
Yeah, have like just a club penguin baby.
Yeah, there you go. So, how you've been into music? I'm assuming just your whole life, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know like some people like really grow up with like very musical families and stuff. I know some people like I have some friends that have grown up in like really musical families, but so I wouldn't say that I like am like in a super musical like childhood or anything, but like I definitely like got into music like like in like middle school or high school or something.
Yeah, that's about the same time.
Yeah.
I feel like I did.
You did too, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But who would you say are some of your inspirations as far as like, let's even growing up, because obviously we change in the people that we enjoy, or like we get inspiration from other places and our music taste grows. So like as far as like back as you can remember getting into music and then up until now, like some of your bigger influences.
Okay. Yeah, like probably like when I was like a kid and stuff. Like Slipknot was like a big
For sure.
like I don't know, they were just really popular at that time, and like yeah, I definitely really liked them.
So more in the metal than...
Yeah, I was like kind of like into all that metal and stuff like a little bit more when I was a kid. Also just like a lot of like grunge kind of stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, I still really like Alice in Chains a lot. I'd still say that they're one of my favorites.
I love Alice
Yeah,
in Chains.
they're you know, I just really like they're you know, they just have like a very distinct sound that I think is really cool and everything. And
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
I absolutely love Alice in Chains. I think
Yeah.
Alice in Chains is the best band from that grunge era.
Yeah, I think they're probably my favorite too.
Soundgarden's up. I like Soundgarden
Yeah,
too.
I like Soundgarden a lot too. I really do.
Chris Cornell's just one of my all-time
Yeah.
favorite singers. But yeah,
Me too.
so okay, grunge
Yeah.
and
Also, like for drumming and stuff too, like Led Zeppelin is like
Ooh.
a huge. I don't know. I just feel like I've like, I don't know. Like,
one of the original greats.
yeah, I just gotta throw that in there because like, I don't know. Like just when I was like learning the drums and stuff and everything, like back then, that's kind of like was my go-to. Like, how do I do this? I would like just kind of like use that like Led Zeppelin's drums, like John Bonham's drums for inspiration, basically. Like when I was like trying to learn and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So on that same note, any other drummers that you kind of took inspiration from or kind of learned from as you listened or watched or however?
Yeah, I'd say, there's like so many like different drummers that like it's like and each one of them has like this particular style. So like sometimes like I'll be playing a song and I'll be like, oh, I want to like do like this style or whatever. Like, so I think like Mitch Mitchell's he's like the Jimi Hendrix drummer.
Oh, okay.
I like his like kind of just like he's like kind of like, well, there's a lot of drummers that are kind of like that where they're just a little bit like jazzy kind of with their drumming, but it's still like really rocking. So it's, which I think that kind of style has maybe like been lost since then, because it's like now everything is like so like recorded drums are just always so compressed and everything.
Right.
And it's like the like biggest, loudest drum sets and everything, and like you kind of just lose a lot of like the dynamics and like the feel of it and stuff like that, and like the tone of like some of that like more classic stuff that
you would get off like just the raw
yeah
old school recording and all that stuff. I totally know what you mean.
yeah
That's kind of with everything though, music wise anymore.
yeah I mean, because it's like also like just nobody uses like the tape anymore. Like you don't record on tape anymore, so
Yeah,
that changes up the sound the sound too.
yeah. Oh, you lose quite a bit when you go digital,
Yeah,
which is crazy, and that's why people like say vinyl is so awesome, because you capture so much with vinyl.
yeah there's just a level of there's
Like quality.
yeah, I mean it's just more like precise, or it's more I don't even know if it's more, I just
Pristine.
sometimes I just think about that with like the drums and stuff. I just think about like the tone and like the feel and stuff,
The flow.
and a lot of like the newer kind of rock music, I think sometimes maybe kind of like gets a little bit too perfect and too like they compress it a lot and stuff, and it kind of just loses some of that stuff. But there's like good things about that too. Like there's like a time and place for it, but I try to keep it in mind.
Yeah, for sure. It's unfortunate that we're going the way of... I just hope maybe eventually they find a way where digital can sound better. I don't know how. I don't know anything about that world.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just sad to see us going away from physical.
Yeah, I think it's getting worse because now we're using wireless headphones too, instead of like a headphone
jack, yeah.
headphone jack. So that also like ruins the quality.
Lessens the frequency and all that.
Yeah.
Huh? I never thought of that too, where the wireless would take away. Also,
yeah, because it has to send it through a radio wave.
God, yeah, that's crazy.
So it like compresses it even more.
Damn, I never even thought of that.
Yeah,
But you're right, because like that's why so many people like having like the bigger headphones and stuff sometimes, because you just get better quality on those.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, I similarly wonder what the future is going to be like with that. You know, if someone will like find us a better solution for it or something. You know.
Oh yeah, dude. I ponder the future quite often
Yeah.
as far as like what's to come. But
Yeah.
in the end, I just think about whatever I can control day to day.
Vinyl records have like become super popular again though. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like maybe things will kind of like some the digital stuff gets really trendy and the wireless, but maybe one day
They'll have to figure
start
out
making phones with a headphone jack again because of the novelty of it, or maybe they'll just realize that it's like good to have that.
Well, and maybe they'll realize the quality of vinyl is just that much better, and they just have to find a way to compete with that.
Yeah.
So you would think they got to do something, because personally, I don't have quite the ear for it.
Yeah, I don't really have the ear for it either.
But I mean, I believe people when they say there's a distinct difference, and I don't listen to records all that much anyway, so it's hard for. It's not like I have anything to go off of comparatively. If I were going to listen to something digitally with wireless headphones and then go listen to something on record, I'm sure there would be a pretty distinct difference.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I can say I've heard the difference, because like, yeah, I can hear the difference, because I've heard like the same song like on a record and then like not like digital. Like I've heard the two different sides of it, and
Right.
like, but mostly I just want to have like headphone jacks like on our phones again. So that you can like plug in and not have to charge up your headphones.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass in itself too.
Yeah.
So, especially with like rock music, because I'm assuming that's still your forte.
Totally, yeah, totally, yeah.
Okay, absolutely. I always am curious to ask musicians especially, and then anybody who's a fan of rock, what is your thoughts and opinion of the current music climate as it goes in the way of rock and metal?
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good question. So that kind of reminds me of like somebody once like mentioned to me, they were like, there isn't like a band right now or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's no band, because like there's like always been like a band or something. Because like there's like the Beatles, and then there's like Led Zeppelin, and then like the other bands and stuff.
Yeah, Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
Or
like there used to be like bands really popular, and there was like
Nirvana in the 90s.
Nirvana,
like there was always like
and
that.
then, like Blink-182 and Green Day. There was always like like bands that were like really big, and like maybe like one of them was kind of like really having a good year. But like I don't even know like who's. It's like I don't know who are the. Like, am I just out of the loop? Or
No, I agree with you. There's really no new up and coming big bands.
I don't personally really know like what is popular right now. I don't really know like what the charts are, honestly, but I don't think that there's a lot of bands, right? Am I wrong? Or
no, I would actually agree with you, honestly. And I'm kind of the same with you. I'm not super plugged into the scene as far as new, because I usually listen to the same old stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And like all my favorite bands have been around since at least the early 2000s, 90s, 2000s,
Okay, yeah.
So anything that they're making that's new isn't really I wouldn't consider new music, because it's there's not like a new fresh band that's like capturing everybody.
Yeah, like yeah. I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah. And so and what's funny is there's really not a genre that's kind of like making a wave, because like in high school everyone was really into like I don't even know what you would call it, like
maybe like emo or pop punk or something.
Yeah.
That was like popular back then, but it's not anymore.
Like A Day to Remember and Mayday Parade and like all these bands that kind of category. That was like the thing everybody was really into.
Yeah, that was big. Yeah.
And now we really don't even have a specific genre that's sticking out.
Yeah, I don't really know what, because I'm just like I'm not young anymore, so like I just don't know,
Yeah.
you know, what the equivalent would be.
It is interesting to think about, like, when you're in high school, you really know the trends because you're surrounded by so many people.
I'm like, what are they like? I don't know what the trends are anymore. Like, what?
See, as far as I know, it's like
It's definitely changed.
oh yeah, it's like Billie Eilish and you know that.
Is it though? I
Well,
don't know.
That's what I would say is like
I
the
guess
popular
it must be.
music. You know, it's like that's like the popular music, but that's
Yeah.
not rock. So it's like, where's rock at?
Yeah.
It just seems like all. If I were to look at the Grammys,
Where's the rock at?
which I hate the Grammys, but if I was going to look at the Grammys and see like the top artists of the year for rock album of the year, I bet you it would either be people I didn't have any idea who they were, or bands that have been around for 30 years. Because there's no
like new bands that I can think of that are like really
blasting off.
that are just like blasting off like
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe like when you're like singing in front of a microphone it's like hard to think about this stuff, and then I'm sure we're gonna watch this later and I'm gonna be like, why didn't we just think of all those bands, you know?
I do it all
Yeah.
the time. I mean, the only ones that come to my mind as far as the last like 5 years, and that's even stretching it, like Nothing More was one that popped in my head, and even they're not like throwing, you know, they're a great band. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but
I don't think I really know what they sound like, honestly.
but they're all exactly. They're not really like catapulting into the atmosphere. I know Bad Wolves had a good run for a while there.
They were number one for a little bit, so that's a good point.
But also, then the whole thing with their singer, and that kind of is going to derail them. You know, that definitely sets you back a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I also don't listen to the radio ever, so I don't know what they're pumping out on the radio as much.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say another one. Asking Alexandria, I feel like is kind of in the last decade maybe gotten it kind of.
Oh yeah, I mean
they've kind of. Because, I mean, they started out as, like, kind of, like, screamo, like, crabcore, but I feel like...
They kind of had a little bit of a resurgence.
Yeah, I feel like they've kind of, like, maybe... and also Bring Me the Horizon, I feel like, has kind of done the same thing, where they were, like...
That's a good point.
But they're on the... You know, they're, like, you know, having these big radio hits now and stuff, where it started out as, like, screamo and stuff. There's quite a few bands. Fall Out Boy, also, where it's, like, you know, started out as, like... You know, they were really big back in the day there, you know, but, like, they
kind of got, like, a revival.
They definitely, like, really changed it up and adapted, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
They definitely changed it up a lot, but I think, they could, like, if I'm, you know, because we're trying to, like, figure out who's the band right now, you know. Well, I would say, you know, maybe they're definitely a relevant band to mention.
Another thing that's kind of hard to base it off of is the fact that we haven't really seen much touring, so we don't really know. You can usually judge who's an up and coming band based on like if they're like where they're placed on big tours.
Yeah.
And or which bands are touring together, things like that. Which bands are putting out. I mean, touring on new albums and stuff, but we haven't really seen that in the last couple of years. Yeah. So I think it's kind of hard to gauge on that also. But it seems like rock itself is just in a weird state. Yeah. It's kind of like in a
midlife crisis of rock and roll.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I just realized none of those bands that I mentioned are new.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like a status quo type of situation where like
some people might like. I think a lot of people think that Fall Out Boy's new. Like a lot of people think that they like because they just don't know.
Well, and it's kind of one of those things too where the digital aspect of it has kind of killed off a lot of, and the radio, that's pretty much to the wayside. Yeah. Digital is kind of taken over, and I think that whatever generation we're in that consumes music, they're looking at a different genre of music at the moment. And rock has always been kind of a rebellious type of music, and we're not really. I guess I would say we kind of are in a rebellious stage in the world. It seems like that's kind of a lot of what's happening.
That's a good question. I don't know.
So you would think rock would be kind of more of a resurgence in the fact that I don't know. Maybe that's just
no. That's a super good point. Yeah, I think that begs the question.
But you know what this means, right?
No.
A beautiful time for new bands such as ours to take hold and bring.
There's no other band, so
let's
so
just
we're the
do
only
it.
ones left.
We'll be the ones. We'll be the ones that just save the world, and we'll save music and rock and all that. We'll be the new ones.
I think that's what we're trying to do.
I think that's the goal, and we'll plan on doing that. So music aside, we've talked quite a bit about music.
Yeah.
What are some of your other like hobbies or interests, just in general? Things that you just enjoy in life.
Like food.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all about food.
Yeah, dude. Like any. I'm trying to think of like specific foods, but just like food. I just love food, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Some good food.
Okay.
Super
Let's make
good.
it easier. Which
What?
foods? Is there any specific food you do not like? Because this will narrow it down. Or
Okay,
you just
okay.
like everything's good to
Okay,
go.
okay. What do I not like?
See, I don't like seafood. I'm not a seafood guy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's like pretty common, but I do like seafood.
Well, you said you said you came from the East Coast, so I'm
Yeah.
sure you had like pretty good seafood in that area. Like, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm
that's
not-
kind
I'm
of a
not
crab
straight-
area, isn't it?
Yeah, there's crab, yeah.
Yeah, I do like crab.
Yeah, crab's really good. I like crab cakes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You might have to come back to me on that one. I can't think of like any foods that I don't like.
You're good with Chinese food. You're good
Yeah,
with.
I am. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't like Chinese food for the longest time, and they say your taste buds change every like 7 to 8 years or something like that.
Probably.
And I've noticed like significant things that I've started to enjoy just throughout my life.
Yeah, dude. Me too.
Chinese was definitely one of those things because I hated it, and now I just can't get enough of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Chinese food. I like the pot stickers and dumplings and just like the lo mein, chow mein kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something that I eat a lot is Mexican food. I've been eating Taco John's recently. By the way.
Okay.
I've been eating that like every day. They have like these burritos that are tacos that are like $2 for a taco, and it's like really good. It's got like bacon and guac on it and stuff.
Okay. I usually get the breakfast burritos there. Have you ever had the breakfast burritos? Oh, they're so good.
No, I haven't done that. What I try to do for breakfast is like the McDonald's bacon, egg, and cheese on a biscuit. That's like my favorite one.
McDonald's definitely has the best breakfast out of any of the fast
yeah,
foods.
I only like I don't even like anything else that they have, honestly.
Yeah, I
I
mean
think
it's all
I think
what
their-
you would expect.
Their bread is so bad. Like the buns, I just think it's like really bland. But I like the biscuits that they have.
Okay, yeah. No, I agree. I worked at McDonald's for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my first job. I worked there for.
Was it by chance the one right here on Grand?
It was.
No way. So you worked at McDonald's on Grand?
Yeah.
No way, dude.
Why? How'd you figure?
Because me and Justin just have like this inside joke about McDonald's on Grand. But
Yep, I worked there for 2 years, from like in high school and just out of high school. It wasn't a bad job. I didn't hate it, but you definitely, even still to this day, anytime I eat a McNugget or even smell McDonald's, instant like flashbacks.
just comes back to you?
Oh yeah, it's like I could go in
you
there
just
and
know that smell.
I could run the fryer right now, like
Really?
because it's just like triggers that memory because it's all just the same thing every day, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess not really because you do different positions, but
Yeah.
I didn't really work the kitchen very much. But still, you're constantly smelling that all day.
The McDonald's just never leaves you.
It doesn't.
You leave the McDonald's, but it doesn't leave you.
Oh no! And what's funny, it's especially with food industry, because I worked at Olive Garden too for a while.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was a server. Bartender, busser. I worked there for 5 years.
I'm Italian.
Oh, are you? Right on.
Yeah.
Like full.
Like maybe like half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I assume you like Italian food.
Totally.
Oh,
yeah.
dude,
yeah, dude.
I could pasta
best.
out.
Yeah.
For-
Pasta and pizza.
Oh, dude, pizza.
So
Pizza's every bit my. If there was one food I could eat every day for the rest of my life, it would be pizza.
Yeah, me too.
Like if you had to, if somebody was like, You only get one choice of food, and if you could have variations of pizza. If I had to do specifically pepperoni pizza every day, that might suck. But if I could like change the type of pizza,
Yeah, well, that would definitely help. Does Olive Garden have good pizza? I don't think
No.
I've had it. No,
they do
it's
not.
good.
No, I don't reckon. I think they only have a kids pizza, so
Okay.
they don't. It's mostly just pasta dishes, which I'll still eat. I'll still eat Olive Garden. I never got burnt out on that food. I got burnt out on McDonald's for a while. I
Okay.
couldn't eat McDonald's for a solid 3 years after I left there.
Wow.
And then I could only eat the breakfast for a while because I never
Yeah.
worked breakfast.
Okay.
And then finally I was able to actually eat the regular food again without it, like, just because I was so sick of it. I was working there all the
Yeah.
time. Have you ever worked food industry?
Yeah, I did Chipotle, not for like a super long time, but like for a little bit, like a few months.
Yeah.
And I still don't really like eating there anymore. I like Qdoba a little bit better.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's. Yeah, well, I did this other thing in Connecticut that was like a restaurant, but it doesn't exist out here, so I don't have the chance to eat it here.
Gotcha.
But their food is really good.
Right. Yeah, no, like I was saying, well, I've been at my current job for like 5 years now.
Okay.
I have never, well, not to say never. I've maybe had like a handful of like nightmares about that place. I still to this day get nightmares about working at McDonald's and Olive Garden.
Really?
Yeah. Just like the stress of it, because like when it comes to people and their food, it's just one thing you don't want to fuck up. You
Yeah.
know, people are very sensitive about
Oh,
their
yeah.
time with food and the quality of the food, and you don't want to be on the ass end of
Yeah, totally.
of a wrong burger, you know. So
That's a really good point. It's all like very time sensitive because things will go bad.
exactly.
And I feel like people are just in a bad mood sometimes when they're trying to get food. They're just hungry and
Yeah.
they're hangry. And it's just like for a lot of people, I feel like it's just like an essential thing that they just have to do, and they're
Oh, yeah.
they're trying to get back to something else, but they just have to eat. So they're like in a bad mood or something. And also like food is just so messy. So I don't like working in food either. If that's what you were getting at, like I just think it's like people who do work in food should get paid like a little bit, like a lot more.
It's it's like you said, it's a necessity. So
yeah, it's like yeah.
I don't know. It's an industry I don't regret working in,
Of
but
course not. Yeah,
but it definitely it gives you perspective,
it really does. Yeah.
and I'll never look at a server differently. You know, I'll never look at them the same like I used to until I started
Yeah.
actually serving,
Oh yeah,
because you understand.
I think everyone should work food, but no one should work food.
I think people should always work one form of hospitality.
Yeah, everyone should like just try it, and then like kind of like get that perspective.
You get the understanding of like what people,
Yeah.
you know, it's like,
And then if you like it, you know, maybe keep at it or something, you know, but not for me.
well, no, and that's fine as long as you can, you know, because I think so many people just lose out on decency of people while they work. It's like, why is my drink not here yet? What's the hell's going on? It's like, well, look at the restaurant. It's full. She's busy. It's like, I understand what she's going through.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, just look around and see what's going on. I mean, you know, mistakes do happen and stuff like that, but
well, and that's the other thing too. It's like,
But, you know.
I'm way more understanding when something gets fucked up, or if like, oh, the kitchen made something wrong, or this and that, or there's a confusion. It's like, I get it. Things get busy, you know, so it's different
Oh, yeah.
once you've actually been in the industry. It's like, and I'm
Yeah.
sure that's the same with a lot of different industries, but
of course, yeah.
like food is just one of those things that everybody has to do. Like it's an essential part of life.
Yeah, it is.
So okay, give me like your top 3 or 4 favorite food items that you just like
Okay,
couldn't
yeah.
live without.
So, let's see. Like burritos.
That's a
Also
good call.
So pizza and burritos are good.
Burritos a great call.
Yeah, burritos. Like, you know, burritos I think I could really eat a lot of. And I do eat a lot of them. Like, you know, because it's like there's also like variety that you can
Oh yeah,
change around in there and stuff.
I like a burrito way better than a taco.
And me too. And there's just like a lot of stuff in a burrito, so you get more for
More bang for your buck.
yeah. Like those bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches that I mentioned earlier on the biscuit.
That's a top
Although,
tier.
Like, McDonald's is a pretty good one for fast food, but like if you like make them homemade or whatever, or like get
like an English muffin or something.
Yeah, or an English muffin could be cool. Well, that just reminds me, like an eggs Benedict's, is like probably what you should really do instead, honestly. But yeah, or like a croissant or something for a bacon, egg, and cheese is like really good. Yeah, like, so that's 3 foods. And
How about any desserts? You got a sweet tooth at all?
Well, you were talking, like, you mentioned earlier that, like, your taste buds change and stuff, so I was thinking, like, I don't really have much of a sweet tooth anymore. I used to.
Okay.
But, like, when you get older, I guess, like, I don't know, like, I like more savory foods now. I honestly, like, really can, like, barely finish, like, a bowl of ice cream anymore. Like, it's like, I don't know,
well, it is interesting how that happens. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I started drinking black coffee, and I never liked black coffee, and I love it now. Like, that's all I can. Like,
yeah.
I'll still do like a iced coffee. I talked about it on my last episode. Whole thing about coffee, but like, I like a sweet coffee still. But if I'm just drinking coffee on the regular, I used to only be able to do it with cream. Now it's all because I like the bitter taste now. But I still love sweets. Like, that is my vice. Cookies, cakes, like you name it. There's like nothing I won't eat in the dessert department.
Like, I have this thing where it's like I think I'm like, people will make cookies or bring in donuts or something, and I'm like super excited because I think I'm gonna love it. And then I'm just like, I can't even eat this. Like, the taste buds have just changed.
Damn.
So
that would crush me.
Yeah.
Although it would probably save me because I don't need to be eating that much sugar.
Yeah. I guess, maybe I should be thankful. But at the same time, I'm like, like, now I just have to eat, like, burritos.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you gotta balance it out somehow,
Yeah.
It's not like... That was my biggest fear with the whole COVID thing, was to lose your taste and smell.
I know, me too. Yeah. Like, that freaked me out because when people were saying that, I was like, oh, that would be so bad.
Yeah, I wasn't too worried about, like, the health consequences as far as, still young and relatively healthy. But, that taste and smell thing would have crushed me. I would have gone insane.
Yeah, like, because food is just so good. Like, why would you... Or like, just if you just can't taste it, like, that's like that's like the highlight of my day sometimes. Just like, like, oh, this tastes so good. Like, I'm just like eating like a nice like burrito or something,
right?
And then, like, I don't know, I just feel like I would be like sad if I just couldn't taste it.
And then it's just texture at that point. It's just texture in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I've had friends.
I can appreciate the texture too.
But, well, yeah, but it's you gotta have a little both.
I agree. Yeah.
I had a friend had a few friends that had it and had the taste change, and so now they're dealing with like things tasting different.
Yeah.
And that would also piss me off. Like,
yeah, that's super weird.
Certain foods that they enjoy and they just taste disgusting now. So anytime they try and eat a burger, if it has onions on it, it tastes like crap. And it's like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would suck.
I completely agree. That is not fun.
So we got the food. And like play video games, anything like that?
I'm like so bad at video games. I just like don't really like. I just don't know my way around the controllers. Honestly, like I just never really figured it out. But like whenever I like try to play like a video game, like I'm just like it's too sensitive, and I'm just like trying to like aim my gun, and I'm just like spinning in circles and stuff.
Gotcha.
But I'm really good at Wii Tennis.
Oh,
I'm,
okay.
like, super good at Wii Tennis. Just randomly.
I haven't played a Wii in a while, man.
Dude, you should come over. I've got the Wii. Justin has a Wii 2 at his place.
Okay.
We both have Wiis. And yeah, so I like Wii Tennis a lot, and then like Mario Kart I like a lot, and then
Mario Kart's always a winner.
Yeah, dude, we should definitely play some Mario Kart.
Oh, I'm always down. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think those are like my two.
So not super into the game. Okay, so Sports at all? Any sports fan at all, or?
Not particularly. I ride my longboard a lot. If that
Okay.
like, helps with this conversation.
Oh, I mean, hey, that's something I don't
Yeah,
do. Like,
me and Justin and Mark like ride a lot. Like we always after band practice, we just kind of like take a nice ride and just hang out and stuff on our longboards.
yeah, my brother used to do that. Like, I never got into like the skateboarding stuff. I'm so uncoordinated in my balance and stuff.
Dude, you should try it because I used to like look at people like skateboarding and stuff, and I'd be like, I could never do that because I have really bad balance. Like I'm just not very good at. I don't have good balance. Like I just don't. Like I just fall over like when I'm just trying to like walk around the house.
I feel that. Yeah.
I just like crash into walls and stuff because I'm just like not balanced. But it's like really not that hard once you kind of like get the hang of it a little bit, and then it's just like riding a bike. It's like so, like, can you ride a bike?
Yeah.
So yeah, like even if you can't ride a bike, you can still like ride a skateboard. So
I guess it's just never been something that I don't know. I feel like I'm past my point of like picking that up. You know what I mean?
I just picked it up like pretty recently.
Oh, well, that's cool then.
Yeah, I wasn't like a kid or anything. I was like maybe like 22 or something.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. What else can I pick your brain about?
But wear a helmet if you do.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I've snowboarded and like done that a couple
hell yeah,
times.
dude.
That's a lot of fun.
Nice.
I haven't done it recently, but
Yeah.
I always wear a helmet. Yeah.
Nice.
Gotta
Cool.
do that. Let's see. How about like relationships, girls, anything like that? Anything since being here at least?
Nothing worthy of this incredible podcast that you
that
you have. I wouldn't want to.
Well, because honestly, it's funny because Valentine's Day is coming up, and I put on this whole big rant last week about Valentine's Day and how much it sucks. It's a useless holiday.
We can hang out if you. I'm not doing anything. We can. Just
I took the day off, so
nice, dude, hell yeah.
Because it's the day after the Super Bowl, so
Oh, is it really?
yeah, it's on Monday.
That's crazy.
So, and I didn't realize it was Valentine's Day, so I just took it off. But yeah, I kind of told my whole story of like I've only been in love 4 times, so I told all the stories of like the times I'd been in love, and they're nothing really super cool to write home about either.
Okay.
But I've only really had one real relationship, I would say.
Okay.
And I've been single since then. Not to
Yeah.
say I haven't like dated or like
Yeah.
been on dates and stuff like that, but
I'm very very much the same boat. Yeah. So
it's
yeah.
ladies, eligible bachelor over here.
2 eligible.
2 eligible bachelors.
We can read. You can read our shirts.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
He has a legible Shinedown shirt.
I love Shinedown
Can
actually.
we edit this part?
No, this is these are the best moments.
All right.
I can if you really want me to. We'll see.
We'll see.
Anything you want to ask me at all, or
Yeah,
I've been
dude, I have
asking
so
a
many
lot-
questions.
Okay, bring it.
Well, okay, so we already talked about like calamity and stuff. How's your day going?
Oh, it's great now that it's Friday. I mean,
Yeah.
this comes out on Monday, so the whole weekend doesn't really matter. But
It was Friday.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a fun weekend. I know that because it got Super Bowl. Tomorrow is a busy day. I'm just like doing a bunch of running around,
Nice.
and then Monday I got the day off, so I got a 3-day weekend.
Yeah. I have another question. Why didn't you come to the bar with us last night?
Because I wasn't invited.
I think you were, but maybe I believe you, but I just remember because me and Justin were like trying to do something, and then you guys were gonna have band practice.
Yeah.
So why was band practice canceled?
Oh no, we still had band practice.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay.
Justin just worked late, so Justin didn't play.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't practice.
Well,
Who all went out?
I just went out with my friend Andrew. Justin didn't come.
Oh.
But I thought, I don't know, I can't remember.
I hadn't received the invite.
I thought,
Although, I will say... Or go ahead.
I think Justin was waiting on word from you, or he was waiting to hear back about if you wanted to go out or something before he decided if he wanted to, and then he, like, after work, he just kind of was like, you know what, I'm actually really tired, and just kind of dipped out. So then maybe then you never got word about that. So then
Yeah, I hadn't heard anybody was going out.
then I just went to the bar with Andrew, but
Which one's Andrew?
Andrew is probably, you might know him. His name is Andrew Luis.
I'd probably recognize him if I saw him.
Maybe.
It's just not popping in my head. So, where'd you guys go?
We went to the brew pub.
Oh, yeah. I like brew pub.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have even if I was invited because I was dead ass tired yesterday.
Yeah.
I went to the... I have this room next to here that's a gym. Like, I kind of made my own
Oh, really?
gym in there.
Nice.
And I've been actually using it the last week. But one of my friends invited me to come to his gym. And we did, like, legs. And I don't work out my legs ever.
We just did, like, a big leg day.
And today I am so sore.
Oh, my God.
Like, it just wore me out yesterday. But then today I'm just, like, trashed. So...
Damn, dude, you got a good workout in.
Well, yeah, and that's the nice thing is, like, when you're sore, that means it's working. But
Yeah.
also you're sore, and that sucks.
Yeah. Gotta feel the pain to
Get the gain.
get the gain.
Get them gains. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got 2 weddings coming up in the weekend or in the summertime, so I figured I should probably try and get in better shape if I'm gonna fit into a suit and look nice in it.
Nice. Which whose weddings? Do I know them or?
No, I don't think so.
Family
Just
and stuff or.
A couple friends of mine that I've just been friends with for a long time.
Cool. That's super exciting though. That's
Yeah, I love weddings.
Me too. Yeah, they're super fun. I'm going to my sister's wedding in August.
Okay.
By the way, she's getting married in Greece because her fiance's from Greece. So,
Okay.
Like, his whole family's in Greece. So I'm going to Greece.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, my whole family's gonna go to Greece.
Damn.
And
It's kind of an expensive wedding, but still, that's awesome.
I know, yeah. That is a good point. It's gonna be her big fat Greek wedding. Which
Shit!
is a movie I haven't seen, but I know it exists.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it also. No, that's hilarious. That's awesome. And God, Greece is kind of one of those countries I definitely would love to visit. Have you ever been out of the country?
I've been out of the country, but I've never been to Greece.
Okay, what part?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
So I've been to France. I've been to Paris, France.
Damn.
Yeah, I visited there. My sister was there. I've been there twice, and I've been to Germany. I've also been to Amsterdam, and I've been to the other one that I've been to. I think that might be it.
Damn, that's more than me. I mean, we live right by Canada. I haven't even been there.
I've never been to Canada either.
But it's like I've been around the States,
Yeah.
but I've never been out of country. I've already made it a point that for my 30th birthday, whether it's during or after, my present to myself, I'm going to Ireland.
Totally, dude, because you are Irish.
I'm like, I want to know what the portions are. I got to do that ancestry thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm definitely like high percentage Irish and Scottish.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you should totally do that. But
I'd love
Ireland's
to.
got to be cool. My sister went there. My sister has traveled a lot. My mom is like a flight attendant. She is a flight attendant. So, me and my sisters like got to like do like some very affordable traveling.
Oh, okay.
When we were younger, and so that's like why I've been able to
go
to some
everywhere.
cool places. I mostly just traveled around like domestically in the United States, but my sister Audrey has gone to so many. She's literally traveled the entire world. Like she's been to like everywhere. But
Yeah, she met her husband in Greece.
yeah. So
Somehow she met him, and he's...
well, they actually just met here in the United States, but it would make sense that she's with someone that's cultured.
Oh, yeah,
'cause she's cultured
from
So,
afar. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so she definitely had a lot of cool things to say about Ireland though, like
Hell yeah.
and if you like cliffs and beers.
I like both those things. I don't think those two things go too well together.
Yeah.
But I will definitely be partaking in both.
Like leprechauns.
Oh, that's me. That's me all over.
You should go.
Yeah, no, it's right up my alley. I kind of want to check out Scotland. Probably check out England too. I don't know.
Dude, yeah.
I gotta look into like the traveling things, but it's perfect because it's a couple years off, so I got time to plan it. I figured
cool.
by the time I'm 30, that sounds like a good like 30 birthday thing.
Yeah, you should totally hit like a whole bunch of different countries. I know that like those are kind of like you can't like take a train like to Ireland, but like if you get like to like the mainland though, like definitely like just do them all. Just because they just have like trains that can just kind of like take you around and stuff. It's like
okay,
and it's all the same country now. It's all like the European Union.
Yeah, the UK or whatever.
Well, the UK isn't in it anymore, but
it's all
like
the EU. Yeah.
But like the European Union, it's all like the same thing. So it's like it's kind of like just traveling from here to Wyoming, basically. It's not like you're like going to all these different countries, if that makes sense. But
yeah, absolutely.
I don't really know. I didn't really do it, but that's what I've heard.
So, what are some cool places in the States you've been to?
I've been...
Because, you're from the East Coast, so you're right...
Yeah.
Have you been in New York? And
mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. See, I've never been east. I've the furthest east I've been is Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely you should check that out, too. I mean... yeah, the East Coast is cool.
I've always wanted to check it out.
A lot of history. What?
I've always wanted to check it out, especially like that New England area.
Yeah, I mean, there's just there's a cool, just a cool vibe over there. A little, maybe a different pace of life that I've kind of noticed, but yeah, you should totally check it out. What was I gonna say? Okay,
places you've been.
Places that I've been in the States. Like I've just been like all through the East Coast. I mean, I don't really know. Mostly just like Connecticut and also Florida. I have a lot of family in Florida, so I've spent a lot of time in Central Florida.
Okay, Central.
Florida is a crazy place. It really is. It's like a different country.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's kind of just like a big melting pot. Like you get a lot of New Yorkers down there, and then you got the Cuban culture. You got when I went to San Antonio last year sometime, and my buddy who lived here, he's one getting married. One of the guys getting married. He moved down there with this girl, and they had a bunch of friends over, and like half of them were from Miami, and they're all like Latino, Cuban Miami guys. It was so interesting to like talk to them and kind of get to know like their dancing and stuff like that, and they're like just the way their culture was. It was way different.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like a melting pot. There's a lot of different cultures, and there's just a lot of people in Florida too. I mean, it's just there's just a lot going on. But it's hot. People are very intense because it's hot.
Yeah.
There's like a thunderstorm every day.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
It's just like a lot going on.
Half of them are on drugs and.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They just got done partying the night before.
Yeah.
I'm sure the cocaine runs pretty wild in Miami, like in that southern Florida area. It's just a party town, man. It's just like a big party.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I've just gone to like Florida with my family and stuff, so I like haven't like partied it up in Florida, but like I know what goes on. We all do. So.
Yeah. It's kind of just it's where everyone goes to let loose.
Definitely.
So Florida, okay, right on.
Yeah.
California at all, or?
Yeah, I've been to California a lot because I have a lot of friends who live in California.
Oh, nice.
So I've been to like LA and also San Francisco. And that's a cool place too. I mean, very laid back kind of vibes there. I love the weather. It's just so nice.
That's why so many people move there.
Totally.
It's like I've been to San Diego, so I never did the LA thing, but
I've been to San Diego too.
Pretty similar. I mean, from what I understand, because like I said, I have no comparison to what LA is like, but as far as I understand it, San Diego is kind of the more ritzy and like kind of just a richer area. of what LA would be. That's kind of just what I've understood it to be.
I could see that. I don't really know. I'm not...
Because, of course, LA's
I'm not
full
sure.
of money.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, you'd have to ask, like, a local, like, what exactly
The differences are
LA is just such a big... Because it's, like...
spread out.
I think LA, like, is considered, like, this giant area that's, like... Or, I don't know. Like, it's so...
It's condensed, but it's also... It's like New York, but... I would say it's like New York, but spread out.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different suburbs and areas. Like, I've heard, people talk about all these different suburbs. I'm like, so this is all basically LA.
Yeah, it's like there's so many different areas that are all right next to each other, but they're all different.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of just like... If you're at all into the, like, Hollywood things, you kind of hear all about it. And it's just so... I've never been there, though, so maybe one day. It just doesn't seem like a place I'm super interested in going to anytime soon. But who knows? If I ever go there, it's going to be for a football game. That's usually what gets me traveling places is sports.
Okay, yeah.
Just going to see games or things like that.
That's cool.
Vegas is fun.
Oh, cool. I've never been there.
Okay, yeah. So I was planning on going this year, but I don't think that's going to happen. So it might be next year because it's just it's an expensive trip.
Oh yeah.
So that's a hard one to make.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in going if you're not going to gamble a little bit, and hotels are so expensive, food's so expensive. Like, there's nothing you can do that's
like everything. It's just like pricey. Everything's just a little bit expensive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, anything else you got on your mind, or anything else you want to add?
Is this the part where I should say something?
No, I mean, we can keep talking. I mean, if there's anything else that you had on your mind, or anything else you wanted to talk about, man.
Like, I'm enjoying the conversation, so we can keep talking.
Yeah, okay, right.
Unless like, I don't want to like overstay my welcome.
No,
I'm
you're
just
good.
having a great conversation. I'm just like, I'm loving our talk.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Like, we are all good. So, Italian.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you know what other background you might have? Because I know Italian's pretty popular on the East Coast area. That's a pretty popular...
Yeah. I think, like, everything else is kind of... It's not like it's half Italian and half something else. It's, like, half Italian and, like, half, like, a whole bunch of other things. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I probably have some Irish, or, I don't know.
See, that's why I want to do that 23andMe thing.
Yeah. And there's, like, no way to know unless you do that, because, like, everyone that does that gets surprised. So it's like, maybe I'm not really Italian.
See, and my mom was adopted, so she doesn't even
really need to do it.
Yeah, she doesn't really know much of her background. I would assume she has some Irish in her for sure, or Scottish, because she's got the red hair and she's fair-skinned. But then, like...
You could be surprised, though.
Exactly. Like, she could definitely have something in there that I wouldn't expect. And then my dad... we definitely have Irish and Scottish roots, because that's what the last name comes from that area.
Okay.
My grandma's last name was O'Connell.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then she apparently had some native in her, too, so I'd be curious to see what portion of that I have in me.
Yeah. I think I have, like, a little bit Native American, apparently.
It's interesting. I think a lot of people do, that they just don't realize.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Especially if you're, like, a multi-generation American.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, because, like, part of my family has been, like, in America for a long time, so that's, like, where it's all, like, mixed up. It's, like, on my dad's side, but then on my mom's side, like, my mom's mom, my grandma, like, is Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that we know. And then, like, but my mom's dad is also Italian, but, like, a little bit more, like, American Italian.
Okay.
Like a few generations, like
mobster.
Exactly. So that's, like, two different Italians, like, making more Italian. So
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I would assume you probably have a pretty high percentage Italian if that's the case. But then there's probably a little bit of this, a little bit of that in there.
Yeah.
So then your family's still back in Connecticut?
My mom lives in Connecticut still, and one of my sisters lives in Connecticut still, and then my sister Brianna like still lives on the East Coast. She just moved to North Carolina.
Okay.
Which I don't really know too much about there. Have you? I guess you haven't been there.
No, but I mean,
my friend Drew just moved there too. Do you know Drew?
Possibly.
Drew McDowell.
Again, see, I'm the worst with names.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm so good with faces, but I cannot. Names is the hardest thing for me.
You probably won't see his face because he moved to North Carolina.
Fair enough. But yeah, I don't know much about the Carolina area. I heard it's actually like surprisingly fun. Like,
I'm hearing great things about it.
It's kind of one of those places that nobody ever like thinks to go to, but it's surprisingly a fun area. That whole like North, South Carolina, Georgia area.
Speaking of like Justin, when he just went to like Wisconsin, and he like went to that crazy like whatever that was, like I had no idea that was there, that like theme park or whatever.
Yeah, he was kind of telling me about that too.
That sounds great. I never knew that was there. Like,
I had no idea either.
Where did he go? Like a giant indoor theme park of sorts?
Sounds like an indoor theme park, water park, like a whole.
He just like lived there for a week.
Yeah, he said he was like in a suite or something like that. He said he had to sleep on the bed, and all the kids kept waking him up. That'd be the one thing about. There's a lot.
He slept in a bed.
No, it was like a futon or something like that.
Futon. Okay.
Or some kind of like hideaway bed on the couch. It sounds horrible.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
But that's what happens when you're like the member of the family that isn't like have a partner, you know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we forgot you were coming.
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst. So, like, when was the last time you went out and saw your family, or?
Like last year, I think. Yeah.
Okay, is that something that you kind of frequently do a little bit? Travel out that way?
I normally visit, like, you know, for Christmas and stuff, and like, cause like everyone's like in different areas. So, like sometimes like they'll come visit me and stuff, or we'll all meet up. Cause my sister lives in Los Angeles.
Wow.
She just moved. I don't know if she's moved yet, but she's moving to San Diego.
Nice.
Which you know about. So
yeah.
So
beautiful area.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We kind of just meet up a lot because my mom is always flying around and stuff.
She's still a flight attendant.
So like we're just like constantly moving around and everything.
So how many sisters do you have? I feel like you've said you have sisters like all over the place.
Yeah, I have 4 sisters.
Are you the only boy in the family?
Do I have any brothers? No, I don't have any brothers. I just have 4 sisters. So one of them is in Connecticut with my mom, and then my other sister Brianna is in North Carolina, and then Audrey's in
Greece.
Well,
is that the one that's marrying the?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
No,
I totally just guessed.
I was like, okay, like he knows, he's been listening. He's got it.
No, that was 100% a guess.
Well, it's a good guess. Yeah. Well, she lives in California, and then I have another sister in Florida too. So I've got like
all over the place.
Everybody, everywhere.
That's how my cousins are.
I'm like in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Yeah. See, that's how my cousins are. My grandma had 9 kids. So, and even if what's funny is a few of them didn't even have kids, but so I have like a ton of cousins.
Yeah.
And I have one in Denver, Seattle, Arizona. I mean, they're spread out all over the place. So it's kind of cool because I get to go visit those places and have places to stay and people that I know that are already plugged in there.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it's tough though because it's tough when everyone's in different places, but then it's it's special when everyone
gets back together
and stuff and everything. I don't know. That's just the way some things are, I guess. But
right. How do you enjoy living here? Obviously, pretty decent if you've been here this long.
Yeah, it's it's a cool spot. It's I don't know. You live here too, so you know how it is.
Yeah. I've lived here my whole life, so
yeah, it's kind of like being on an island. I feel like because it's like, think about it, like, would it if we were actually on an island, would it be any different?
Interesting.
Like,
I mean, I see what you mean.
and like maybe like Bozeman is like another island, like in the island chain.
Well, and that's true because like it's literally this and then like not much.
Yeah, it's like we're just like in the middle of like nothing, and
That's very true.
yeah,
I never really thought of it that way. Wow. Yeah, you
Well,
kind of blew my mind just there.
like cool. Like other places are just like continuously connected.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's like other like areas that are more densely populated. Like you don't realize that you're leaving one town and going to the next one. It's just all a continuous like coastline or whatever.
Right.
But here it's like, you know, like we go from one spot and then we go through.
It's like 2 hours to the next.
Yeah, we go through like absolutely nothing, just like random farms to get to the next spot.
That's true. Because yeah, the East Coast is like Boston, New York, Philadelphia. Like they're all
even between them. I mean, it never ends. Like it's, you know, it just flows into the next one.
just all metropolis.
Yeah, it just continuously flows into. Like you don't know where one place ends and where the other one begins unless you like specifically look at the signs and stuff.
Damn, that is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
and it's all pretty close together anyway. Like
yeah,
because if you took, I mean, I don't know the exact dimensions, but like if you took the state of Montana, I bet it covers a good portion of that whole New England area.
yeah, you could definitely fit. You could probably just fit New England into Montana.
Yeah, well, we're the fourth largest state by area.
Yeah, really. So, what are the other ones? There's Texas, Alaska. Alaska's the biggest.
Yeah, Alaska,
Texas, California.
Yep, and
so
then us.
we're after California.
Mhm.
Okay.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it is big, you know. It's
a big place.
and that's a good way to put it. Like we are kind of in the middle of an island.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, just like the culture here too is kind of like, you know, like every time I go outside, like I just see people that I know. It's kind of like being, you know, just like in like a little community and everything. You know, if you listen to like the radio ads here, it's all just like local stuff. Everything. It's kind of like we're just like a self-sufficient little like island that just kind of like does its own thing, and we're like, I don't know. I just feel like we're kind of just out of the loop sometimes on like the rest of the world.
I could see that.
I have to check in, like, what is the rest of the world doing? Like,
which isn't always a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing at all. Yeah, it's great.
Like it definitely has its pros and cons, but
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to like how things are going right now, I'd say it's not a bad thing.
Definitely not. Yeah, I mean, well, you know, when all that was happening, and I guess that was the summer of 2020.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the apocalypse was happening.
Yeah.
And like we were like just like
Still just
we were
maintaining.
just kind of just I was just jamming with Justin, and like, you know, like, I mean,
Restaurants were closed for like 3 months, if that, like 2 months.
I mean, like, you know, like that kind of stuff was happening and stuff. Like like things were closing down, you know, and whatever and stuff. But like I'm talking about like all like the riots and stuff. And,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
The
People just losing their minds.
people were just losing their minds. I feel like there was just a lot of violence and like a lot of
Pent up.
a lot of, I mean, also like all the forest fires and stuff. I mean, we get forest fires here too, I guess, but we don't like.
It was just
we
everything.
Yeah. I don't really remember honestly what was going on. 'Cause,
It was
like,
too much.
there was. I just remember like the world was just kind of like having like a rough time.
Yeah.
Maybe like also like the Chinese like protests and stuff were going on. Those are probably still going on, I'm sure.
It was just like it was just mayhem.
They
But
were just-
yeah,
yeah.
you didn't see any of that.
But
here.
like we were all just kind of like here,
chilling.
yeah. Which I mean, good for us. I feel bad. Like,
Well, it's like one of those things too, where it's like I think because of what you said, like we are kind of just contained to this area. It's like there's more of a sense of community where it's like
yeah,
you kind of like we don't really have a choice but to trust or
Yeah.
to like have each other's back, and like
yeah,
we don't have room to start like rioting and having like craziness go down.
Yeah, there's definitely like a strong sense of community in Billings, and I think like as musicians, like we definitely like we all kind of know each other and stuff, and
It's like its own little sub community.
yeah, we can't like just like up and leave and go on tour or anything because we're the closest cities are like we're the largest city within over 500 miles around. Like,
Yeah.
if you need to get anywhere, the only how do I say, like if like the closest stuff is like Salt Lake City and Denver and like Minneapolis and
Seattle.
So,
and those are all 800 plus miles.
Yeah, they're all very far away.
It definitely makes it hard to, like,
yeah.
on that aspect, to music-wise, to
yeah.
get your name out there.
But we're keeping all the music, like, contained here, so it, like, you know, we're kind of, we have, like, our little, like, music scene that, we're kind of just, like, keeping it to ourselves.
Yeah, and hopefully it gets recognized eventually, you know. That's the dream, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully we can make a statement or make a wave. And
yeah, I mean that's what happened with the grunge, you know,
exactly.
And stuff. They were in the middle of nowhere too, and they just had their scene that just became popular everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, look at Austin right now, like Austin, Texas. It's always kind of been a beacon for like things happening, and now all of a sudden it's like becoming. It's a destination for artists and musicians.
Yeah,
and
I'm always hearing about Austin. That's true.
And it's like it's kind of always been there, but it's never really been one of those places. It's always usually L.A., New York, you know, Chicago, places like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Or like then you had the Nirvana, you know, the grunge scene in Seattle. But anything like that can happen anywhere. You know, it's just a matter of.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many like random bands that are huge that are just from like some random place that you've never heard of. Green Day is from like some random like village in Ohio, I think, or something.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and that happens all the time. It's just like it's a matter of getting enough talent and enough.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you
eyes.
are. It's not. Yeah, I mean, it kind of like it makes a difference, or I don't know. It is. But yeah,
especially when they're coming into it, like here's where the positives of like a digital world is like it's easier to distribute your music from anywhere.
Yeah,
like you could literally be a musician in bumfuck Kansas, in the basement of your mom's house, and be the biggest musician in the world.
Yeah,
because it's all about like as long as you have the talent and the ability, it's right here. I mean, you can just get it out to the world. So that is a positive note. So like it doesn't matter where you're from.
It totally is.
And so hopefully with that we can that's always a dream, man. It's easy to get your name out there now.
That's so true. Yeah, we are very fortunate to live in a time when we can distribute the music.
Yeah, and you kind of can control your own destiny too.
Yeah.
Like you don't got to like get hooked up with a record company or nothing like that. Yeah, it's all independent.
SoundCloud, they're just not doing it anymore.
I don't know. I never really got into that.
There's like a lot of like, you know, for a while that was like I feel like that was like the only way, like for a little bit that was like the only way to like get anywhere with music. I feel like it was like, okay, now the music industry is all about SoundCloud. Like the only like relevant thing, you know how like right now it's like Spotify monthly listeners are like kind of like how you can like compare how popular an artist is and stuff. Like it was all just like Spotify, and like all of the new artists that were coming out were just, I mean SoundCloud is what I meant to say, but like the artists
were independent. Like
they were all independent, and they were all just on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
and just blew up on SoundCloud from their basements.
Right. Yeah, and there's not really that, you don't really have that anymore.
Like Lil Nas X is like a huge artist right now. He just made Old Town Road on SoundCloud.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah. See, it's like there really isn't a thing like that. I think Spotify kind of is it now.
Lord also was just on SoundCloud.
Huh.
So.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's the the term of like the SoundCloud rapper kind of thing, but that's a real thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And
there really isn't that. Yeah, that is interesting that SoundCloud isn't really around as much. Or
I think that they just kind of like shut themselves down. Or I just don't remember what happened. I kind of remember something happened, but I don't remember. But do you remember?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I was never really on that as much. I never really had like a way of finding new music. It just kind of like came to me. or I just stumble upon it.
Yeah. For me, I don't know, like sometimes like I just get like recommended on the YouTube recommendations.
Hmm. Yeah, same
Um,
here.
or I try to like if I hear something like out when I'm out, like if I hear something like in a store or I hear something on the radio or something, I'll try to just figure out what it is.
Shazam it, or what is
yeah,
that?
I'll Shazam it. Um, which is another great technology that we have now that we didn't have before.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
like,
that makes it a lot. You used to have to like try to like find a piece of the lyrics that you could Google.
yeah,
And
that
now
too.
now you can just Shazam it and like figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I said, there's the pros and cons of the digital world, but those are definitely some nice pros.
Yeah, yeah. There's some good ones definitely.
And then, yeah, as far as new music goes, I usually get recommended it by friends, or I really don't actively
mouth.
search out new music as far as like, I mean, local music, of course, but not outside of that. Honestly, I'm not like actively searching for it, which I should. I feel like I should, but I just don't.
Yeah, I think sometimes I like. It's like I want new music, but at the same time, I'm still processing some music already that I maybe like need to let age a little bit or something. You
For
know, so I'm
sure.
like, I don't want to like overload like the list of music that I have to like listen to and assess. So
Yeah, I hear you. Because that's just how it is. Sometimes you get bogged down with this,
yeah,
like just overloading with so much.
there's a lot of music.
Oh yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah,
And that's kind of the nice thing too, though. It's like music is such a universal language.
yeah,
You know, everybody understands music, and it's kind of just like its own frequency that everyone shares. It's kind of like the
Yeah.
one frequency I feel like that we all hold in common.
yeah, yeah.
Not everyone likes the same music,
Yeah,
but
everyone. I think everyone kind of hears it differently or has a different taste, or you know, certain music means something different to everyone. But I don't know anybody that just doesn't like music.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like, at the end of the day, like every type of music, maybe some music is different from others, but it's all music at the end of the day.
yeah,
And there's something you can, you know, for like most, like 99% of like everything that I've ever heard, like I can say something about it that I think is good. Maybe it's like the vocals I think are good, or the beat is good, or I like the arrangement of it or something. Or there's just, I don't know, I don't like to just be like, just like write it off just because it's not trendy right now, or just because it's you know, just because maybe there's a part of it that sounds kind of silly. I'll just write off the whole song. No, like I like to kind of like try to find, you know, something to appreciate about like every song that I can. But there's some songs that I can't find anything to appreciate, but those are very rare.
yeah. I hear you, but it's a good way to look at music, to have an open mind about it, because I mean, they're really every genre, even ones that you don't really like, there's things to be taken from it that you can like
Totally.
learn from, or you can
Exactly,
be
yeah.
inspired by. So it's a good way to look at it, to have an open mind. I didn't always used to have that, and I kind of like forced myself in some ways to like have a more open mind, and it opened me up to a lot more music and
Yeah,
more inspiration. So
yeah, yeah, totally. Like, and you can just kind of learn what or just kind of like just make those comparisons and stuff and
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can see the in totally different worlds of music. You can see commonality between them.
yeah,
Because it's all just, like I said, it's just a universal language that we all kind of speak.
yeah,
We all kind of understand,
yeah,
which is really cool. And one of the things why I always just loved music.
yeah, and like the history of it is so crazy too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's, I mean, like, I feel like sometimes people will listen to music and they just don't hear they don't really get the context of like when that music was made, and I feel like it's, I don't know, if you just know a little bit of the history about something that's maybe like an older song or something, like it really can help you appreciate like the just like the music, or I don't. It's
And it changes the meaning.
changes
sometimes.
the meaning of
yeah.
it, and like you can kind of like appreciate like kind of like what the vibe was.
Yeah, you just get a better understanding.
Yeah.
It is interesting to look at things that
It's like
way
a time
too.
machine.
Exactly. Yeah, like what the artist was thinking at that moment in that
Yeah.
time, like where they were. Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Well, we are reaching toward the end here, man.
Word, dude.
As I was telling you at the beginning, always like to end the episode with a positive or motivational message from the guest. Did you think of anything that you'd like to put out there in the world?
I think I'll just wing it and just make something up on the spot right now. My motivational message is just be a little bit more like Dakota every day.
Oh gosh, no. Nobody wants that. Be yourselves.
That's all I've got.
Be yourselves. Everybody be yourselves. Just be the best you can possibly be. How about that?
Just like learn something from Dakota and try to use that in your everyday journeys that you're on.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like the best role model, but we can all hope so, that we all are our best role models. But right on, brother. Well, I appreciate that sentiment.
Sorry to just like put you on the spot. Right
No, it's all good. I appreciate the
just
sentiment.
most random. I'm like just looking around the room. I'm like, oh, Dakota, be like Dakota.
You're just trying to find something in the room to like. It's. I got you. Right on. Well, one more time, let's plug your bands. Twin Divisions and Joyce from the Future.
Yes.
Once again, I'll leave a link in the description if anybody would like to check those out. Appreciate that. Appreciate you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh, of course, man. And we'll have to do it again. Maybe we'll get the whole band in next time.
I think we should. You should definitely get Connor on the show. He's our saxophone player.
Okay.
Yeah, you could definitely have like an awesome conversation with Connor.
Yeah, I'm always open to getting new musicians and just anybody on the show. So
Cool, dude.
absolutely. And thank you all for listening. Always appreciate it. Don't forget, of course, like, share, subscribe. But most importantly, don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it.